Hey, how's it going? This is Nick Ashby from Rockstar Performance Garage, and we have an awesome build coming down the pipeline. We got parts from Baja Designs, Fab4, Yukon, Mickey Thompson, Patriot Liner, HP Tuner, Magnaflow, Fox Shocks, JKS, Skosh, Power Tank. This is going to be an awesome build. So we are going to start out with a 2021 Gladiator. We're actually getting the opportunity now to take a Jeep and build something that we're normally building, not a car or something like that, but something that's more in our wheelhouse. Everybody's trying to replicate the Warthog or build the Warthog, which is an awesome vehicle in the game, but being prior military, I think that the game's about Master Chief more than the Warthog. Like, it's all about Master Chief. So why not build a vehicle that's an homage to Master Chief? Getting into this thing, we've got to figure out how to build it that way that it will look like Master Chief, his suit, his armor, him. So one of the first companies that we reached out to was Fab4. Now Fab4 is not normally a brand you're going to see us work with or use, but I will tell you that after working with Fab4, I'm very impressed with their quality of fitment and their complex design. They were awesome to work with. They sent us over literally everything they made for a Gladiator, and we started cutting this thing apart and working on that. These Gladiators were designed to run bigger tires without having to modify the body. So what we ended up doing was going to Mickey Thompson and getting a 43-inch tire with a 20-inch Black Rhino Abrams wheel. We wanted that military look again. We wanted to, have that look and feel of the Halo game and be that tribute to Master Chief. Running a 20-inch and a 43, you're gonna have a problem with axles on these things. So the stock 44 axle will just not work. Yukon Gear and Axle actually has their own axles now. So this thing is running a 60/80, which is the same thing you're gonna find in like a 1-ton pickup truck, like 3500, for towing trucks and trailers and all that kind of stuff. So we got these things underneath it. Moving these things around with the steering is the next problem. We went to PSC Steering. We got their full hydraulic system set up, which is pretty awesome. Tying in the axles needs to be a good suspension system. So we just turned to our friends at JKS and Fox, and we ran an awesome system that has lifetime warranty in it, and you ran a shock that's not gonna have to have any maintenance on it for a very long time. So you have a 6-inch lift. It's their J-Spec kit from JKS with a 2.5-inch remote resi. We did a full-size spare in the back. Obviously you want that. And then we tied that in with an awesome Pro Eagle that we kind of did some powder coating to match the entire design of the build. We mounted a power tank on this thing. We did it the same OD green. And the reason we did that was because we want to make sure that whoever wins this thing, when they go out and wheel it, they're not going to have to worry about going out and finding any parts for this. It's literally a fully delivered, go hit the trail, have fun vehicle. So, you have a lot of great quality products that you're normally not going to find in a giveaway. Even the Artec full skid, aluminum skid plates underneath this thing from front to back, it's all like 3/16 1/4-inch steel. It's insane. You can run this thing over anything. We actually did some car crushing, and there's not a single mark underneath that thing just because of those awesome skid plates. The next thing that we needed to work on was the look of it. How are we going to cosmetically change the outside of this with a color or some kind of coating that would actually make it look more like Master Chief's suit? So that's where we turned to Patriot Liner. They're a brand new company that just popped up. We did a 2-tone with powder coat, kind of like we did on Gridlock, where we kind of blended in the different types of armor you would normally find on Master Chief, the same way we did on the vehicle, where you're having similar colors, but they're in different texture. Some carbon fiber accents in there, and you have the suit from the game. Now, one of the coolest things on this build, I'm gonna say, is probably the exhaust system that Magnaflow came in and did. Rich is an awesome dude when it comes to what we do. So he came in here on a Saturday with us and built this insane design based on one of the guns in the game. What we did with R1 Concepts on this, they actually went in and machined the rotors to have the 117 logo, the Rockstar logo, and the R1 logo actually machined into the rotor itself. Again, it's cool little Easter eggs, I think, that people are gonna find, whoever wins this thing, and it's just gonna be things that kind of just, bring it into the gaming world, but still kind of that hat nod to the automotive world, and the capabilities of what these companies have. The engine bay is a really cool setup. You have a billet intake in there from K&N Filters that we match to the vehicle. You've got a lot of cooling products in there from Mishimoto, from hoses to coolers, and then you have an Odyssey battery in there for all this lighting and everything. You have an S-Pod in there as well. Again, we want something that's gonna be fully controllable and easy to use for everyone. So working with all these modifications, the next issue you're gonna have is communication in these vehicles. A lot of these newer vehicles have a lot of electronics. You have to start messing with the computer. That's where HP Tuners comes in. They have a really simplistic way to take their tuner device, plug it in, they give you a security dongle as well, and you can actually modify those parameters, remove your sway bar system, change the power steering, because once you change that power steering out to PSC, you have to turn off the electronic assist because you no longer have that. It's all hydraulic now. It's nice to have HP Tuners a part of the build because it made things like that a little flawlessly easier. Around the outside of this vehicle, you're gonna find Baja Designs lighting. Those are their Onyx 6, I believe. They're just insane lighting. We have an entire rugged radio headset system in this. So when you go out and go in with your friends, you can put all your headsets on, you can communicate with people, and everything was tied in awesomely by PRP. We have their Summit Series seats in that, which they literally replicated down to the badging on these seats to match Master Chief. So when you look at these things from the inside to the outside, it's awesome because you're seeing all of the Easter eggs from the game. Well, that's the build in a nutshell. Not a bad way to spend 6 figures and then give it away. Thanks to all the brands that always support us and all the stuff that we do. We got a couple builds right here we got to jump on for King of the Hammers and for the Great American Crawl List next year. We got Camerons and Sadies, getting a bunch of parts put on those things. Make sure you keep an eye out for those. And the Great American Crawl stuff just dropped. So make sure you guys check that out as well. We'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.
Do I follow her? Got it? Yeah. See that? Yeah, that was actually pretty good.